It's nice. It's nice.
Chase a check, get a check, get a check, chase a check, get a check, run it back, passports when we fly.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm here with another episode of Young Creative Genius. And before we get into this video, make sure y'all like and subscribe just so y'all can stay updated on my new videos and past videos. And today I'm here with a special guest. I am here with my mom. Introduce yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Nikki. I go by DJ Old Nikki. Yeah, a lot of y'all know me. You know, I'm kind of popular in my city, and yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna get started with this interview with first I just want to just talk about your childhood growing up in Cleveland. I want to start with Cleveland first. So just talk about like your childhood growing up in Cleveland, where you from, and just talk about like how it was for you growing up as a child.
Well, I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio, and my childhood, I can say that I had a fun childhood. I spent a lot of my time with my cousins and my family. We was real small at the time, so my family was close, and we did a lot of things together. But yeah, I remember really having a pretty awesome childhood, other than things that may have happened that was kind of on the bad side. But other than that, I did everything that I was supposed to do as a child with my cousins and my family. So yeah.
All right. So you grew up on St. Clair?
No, I actually grew up in East Cleveland.
East Cleveland? Okay. Like where at? Like you like by Shaw? Close to Shaw?
I grew up on Penrose.
Penrose?
Yep. The Penrose where my cousin and my uncle, my aunt, they lived there, and I remember being a kid and we lived with them sometimes. We lived across the street. We always stayed on a house on Penrose. So yeah, East Cleveland when I was little, yeah, East Cleveland was where I was from.
So when did you move to St. Clair?
We moved to St. Clair probably when I was about, I want to say when I was probably about 9 or 10. We was living on 103rd in St. Clair, and then we went from 103rd to 107th in St. Clair. We stayed in my grandfather's house.
Okay. All right. Talk about like your memories and stuff like growing up on St. Clair.
So my memories on St. Clair was also cool. By that time I was like a preteen. I had friends. I was still hanging with my cousins. We was into boys and, doing all that teenage stuff. And my street was full of kids and teenagers. And so my childhood was pretty cool going into my preteens. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So as far as like school and stuff, like what schools did you go to in Cleveland? And I want to get into like when you moved to Atlanta and stuff. First, how old was you when you moved to Atlanta? I
was about 13, 14 when I first moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what schools did you go to in Cleveland when you was like a kid before you moved to Atlanta?
I went to Stephen E. Howe. I went to Forest Hill Parkway. I went to FDR.
FDR, that's my school. That's my
so those was basically the main schools that I remember. I probably had some other schools over the years. I also went to Superior in EC. But yeah, my last school here was FDR.
Okay, so I want to get into like when you moved to Atlanta. What made you move to Atlanta? And talk about like the transition from Cleveland to Atlanta.
So I was about 13, 14. My mother and at the time, her boyfriend, he was her husband, but at the time he was her boyfriend. And my mom, she used to be a foster parent. And she was a foster parent. So we had kids coming in and out. One of the main kids that she kind of raised from a newborn to 3, the family had took him back, and it was really hurtful to us. So once they took him, she kind of sent all the other kids back, and me being a kid, not really knowing the dynamic of why they wanted to move to Atlanta, but it was because of Doc Sheets. While we moved to Atlanta, he took my mom to Atlanta. They went for a couple of weeks, found an apartment. He got a job cutting hair, and they came back to Cleveland, came and got us, and we was on the way to Atlanta.
All right, so talk about your first moments, like when you got to Atlanta. Like, how was you feeling? What was the emotions and stuff? Like, was you happy? Was you like missing your friends? Because you was 13. By that age, you know, it was kind of different. Because I know when we moved, we was about like 4. So I know it was kind of different. Like, you was probably more like, oh, I miss my friends, and like you can remember those days when you was 13 and stuff. So how was the transition from moving from Cleveland to Atlanta? Because I know them two different worlds.
So on our way, actually on the road to Atlanta, I cried the whole way in the back seat because I did not want to leave my friends. I literally cried. Once we got to Atlanta, you know, to see the apartment was kind of cute. It was different. And then I just started adjusting. I had pictures of all my friends. I would hang them up in my room, and I just had to adjust because this was my new life. So I decided to start like going outside and start meeting people because we stayed in apartments. You know, that's the thing in Atlanta, a lot of apartments
And a lot of hills.
Yeah,
I know that was like different when you seen all the hills.
It was different when I saw the red clay. Like, I was like, what is this? But yeah, we was in apartments, and I just started going outside because I was like, yeah, I got to meet me some friends because I was getting kind of bored.